I'm Michael Cable, host of Everyday Edisons, out front of a 100-year-old grist mill turned multi-million-dollar product development lab here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where inside these four walls, invention ideas come in on a cocktail napkin and go out to store shelves. Well, most all of our filming happens within these four walls. We'll go around the world, all the way to Shenzhen, China, to Las Vegas, and points in between, to bring you the story of 14 ordinary people who had 14 extraordinary ideas. Let's now begin by going inside to meet some of the key players that made this unprecedented series happen. While we do most of our filming day-to-day here in a real-life product development firm, we do have a fully viable TV studio where you'll see a couple sets on this season of Everyday Edison. We're going to begin in here by meeting Louis Foreman. Louis Foreman is the founder and CEO of Inventus, a Charlotte-based product development firm, and the creator of Everyday Edisons. I know, Louis, we're 2 years in the making. We're a week away from the premiere. We talk about it all the time, but it's hard to believe in a week we premiere.
It is. A lot of hard work has gone into the production of Everyday Edisons, but I think it's something that we're all going to be very proud of. We tell a wonderful story here, and we tell and show the process of invention.
Looking back, you know, we started small just with this idea to create a show that could be educational, what do we say, inspirational, and what else? Somewhat dramatic, right? I mean, that's what we wanted to do. Have we accomplished that?
I think so. The original premise of the show is very simple, and that is everybody has a great idea. The problem is most people never follow through with their dreams. They might not have the financial resources, they may not have the time, they're not interested in quitting their day job, or in many cases, they just don't understand what the process is. How do you go from this idea that you've been kicking around to something that could be sold on store shelves? So, as you know, we started off with a hypothesis. Would people be interested in coming out, sharing their ideas, and turning them over to a group of people who would do something with those ideas?
In choosing or going out and finding the inventors, how do you recruit or how do you find inventors to become Everyday Edisons?
For season number 1, we did 5 casting calls. We went across the country. We started off here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We had no idea would anyone actually show up for one of these events. We publicized it locally through local media, TV, newspaper, and radio. And lo and behold, when we showed up to the studio that morning, there was already a line outside the door waiting to bring their inventions in. In all, I think we had about 300 inventors show up for the very first casting call. And then from there, we moved on to the next city, and that was Atlanta, Georgia. You know, I'm really amazed by the type of people that come to our casting calls. When you watch some of these other reality shows on TV as part of the casting calls, you see people showing up in costumes with elaborate props. They're there for their 15 seconds of fame. We didn't have that in our event, and that's good because the show has never been about humiliating people, and it's never been about the casting calls and showing the crazy people who show up to the casting calls. What we were really looking for were great ideas, and the people who showed up to these casting calls were a cross-section of society. They were kids, they were seniors, they were professionals, they were laborers, they were everything in between, and they all had one thing in common, and that is they had what they believed was a really great idea.
Well, all right, you know what the show premise is and what it takes to become an Everyday Edison. Now let's go meet some of the team members responsible for developing all the products.